Hey, what up, man? Hold up, bitch. Hold on. Eh, what the fuck is happening with it? Hey, bro, look. Man, I'm finna tell y'all. Y'all already know. I started to record these bitches and put them on YouTube. Because I know I don't really record a whole bunch of my lives like that. But I said I was gonna start. Look, man, I made a post this morning. Check this out. Wait, can I put this bitch up here? I probably can. On the low. Hell yeah, I can put that bitch right there. Look, bro, I made a post this morning, and it was I said, depression ends when the individual has better management over his human system. And I like to make posts like that and then go into detail about them, because some people normally get them and some people don't, and I don't be tripping. What y'all talking about? Hey, bro, can I ask you a question? Yeah, I'm actually finna. How long do it take you to come up with those ideas? Because they hella funny. I usually come up with them when I'm about to record. So it take me about an hour or two to film. So I probably come up with it as soon as I lock myself in the room. When I lock in the bedroom, I lock the door, and I just stand there, you know what I'm saying? I buzz through some notes, shit I done looked at on the internet, and then I'm like, okay, bet. So we gonna go right, we gonna go this way with it. You know what I'm saying? But what I was saying was, bro, check this out, man. The thing when it comes to depression and mental health in fucking our society today, the reason why we make no progress is because when a person is solely identified with their body, when their physicality is only the extent of how far they know themselves, when you know yourself no farther than your physicality, if something goes beyond your physicality, you have to go beyond to see it, to interact with it. If it's a problem beyond your physicality, your perception has to go beyond your physicality to see the problem, to work with a solution, to come up with a solution. Thing about it is, if you don't know how to go beyond that if you don't know yourself beyond your five senses, and there's a problem beyond your five senses, nothing you come up with using your five senses is going to help. That's why we know the physicality of the human body. We know the physicality of the human system, but we have little to no knowledge. Not that it ain't out there, because it's people that got it. But our society has little to no knowledge of the incorporeal aspect of human physicality. You know what I'm saying? The parts of you that are non-physical, the aspects of yourself that play into your life energies and how energy moves through the human system. You know what I'm saying? If we had that information and incorporated it into the physical information that the information that we have as to the physicality of shit, like our medicines and all of our sciences and shit, if we put them two together, you'd come up with a lot better solutions. But the problem is that we tackle non-physical issues from a physical standpoint. We look at depression and mental health and shit like that as if it's a thing that's around the corner, that's out there, you know what I'm saying, that you gotta avoid. The problem is just that a person's management of their human system is not yet fully in their control. This system doesn't take orders from you. It's almost like a person having a car, but not even knowing about the tail light. They don't even know that the blinkers exist, let alone that they do something that if you hit it when you turning, it'll prevent you from getting your ass rear-ended. You know that? But in order to even know that that's a way you can use the blinkers, you have to know that the blinkers even exist, period. And if you have to get out of your fucking car to go see the blinker itself, and you don't know how to get out the car, there's no fucking chance of you knowing that it exists, let alone using it to your benefit. Same thing with the human body. We look at human experience as if it's some shit that comes to us. Like, my experience of my life, how you perceive yourself is going to determine how you tackle problems. It's going to literally determine what problems you even see, what you even think of as a problem. You see what I'm saying? If your perception is right here, you cannot see anything that's up here. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck if it's right in your face. If your perception is here, that shit is invisible past that point. So you can only see a problem as far as you can perceive yourself in the whole, in your because all of existence is a part of you, just like you are a part of all of existence. You want to understand life better, understand yourself. Your ability to see problems in the world is only as good as your ability to perceive yourself. Your ability to fix problems in the world is only... Your ability to play a game is only as good as your ability to see what's on the screen. Your ability to see what's on the screen is only as good as your eyes. What you deem as a problem on the game, if you got one fucking eye and you see some shit, half of some shit over here, you don't got the whole picture. So you might think something you see on this half of the screen is a problem, but in actuality, it's because you can't see the rest of the picture that causes you to deem, out of your ignorance, to deem this as an issue. You get what I'm saying? But once you got that second eye, then you realize, oh, what I thought was a problem was just my lack of perception to be able to see what's there. The reason why we can't make progress with mental health ain't because it's impossible. It ain't because a person cannot do certain shit. It ain't because the human being is just fucked up and limited. We come to those conclusions because of our limited understanding of the human system. Add a little more perception, then you realize, oh shit, my human experience is not defined by the world around me. That is how I have been raised. That is a programming. That is a that shit, that memory is embedded in every motherfucker before you and your generation, probably going back very far, because people is coming from tribalistic ass tendencies. And science proves that memory travels through genetics, travels through DNA. There's more memory in one cell in your body, any cell, than is in your whole fucking conscious brain. Memory travels, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get talent is passed down. That's how trauma is passed down. That's how mental problems and health issues are passed down. It's genetic fucking memory. Memory is what you're trying to overcome. You need to transcend your memory, transcend your physicality, because memory only exists in the level of as far as your physicality goes. That's your karma, but we ain't got to get into all of that. The memory of how you live today, how you see yourself. Your parents have seen themselves only as far as their physicality. Grandparents, great-grandparents. So the only way that you come out of such an issue, you have to understand that your experience of life in your heart, not intellectually, really within yourself. The more you stop trying to intellectually understand, you cannot intellectually understand something that does not have a physical nature. You cannot intellectually understand the non-physical aspects of yourself because your intellect, it can only perceive in halves. Your intellect only looks at shit in comparison. That's why social media is such a causes so much destruction to a lot of people, because a lot of people use their intellect to live their life. When they don't understand that, that's why you only see shit in comparison, because you only look at it intellectually. Your intellect cannot understand the parts of yourself that are non-physical. Once you realize that, then you stop thinking about shit so much and you just start looking. You stop talking. You just stop resisting. You start paying attention. Because in order for sound to happen, friction has to happen in the air. Sound waves rub against molecules in the air through a medium friction. In order for you to even talk, you have to resist. In order for you to walk, you have to resist. To move, you have to resist. To think, you have to resist. When you just stop thinking and just pay attention, you realize that everything is just the way it is. It's the way this one moment is the only moment that exists. Tomorrow and the future are just things that you're capable of using to further your survival, but are not objective things. You realize that your experience of life is solely determined by yourself. Whether you are capable of doing that because of the teachings and the indoctrines and the fucking habits of your entire society, your parents, and all the hundreds of millions of people that lived here before us. Regardless, whether you've been convinced that that's not the case or you don't even know that for yourself, it don't matter. What matters is that life happens. Everything is how it is. And your ability to respond to all things is infinite. Your ability to accept something is, in its totality, infinite. But when you grow up thinking that there is this somehow separation between yourself and other things, problem number one, your identity becomes rooted in something limited. Your body, your family, your race, your sexuality, your religion, your status, your job, your country is limited right now. So you already are against something else. Your identity is not, you are not a piece of creation that has realized it is a piece of creation. You are a piece of creation that thinks it is a separate thing from creation. Problem one, limited identity. Your identity is finite as fuck. You've created boundaries for self-preservation, but those boundaries ultimately become your prison. But you don't want to break those boundaries because of the fear of suffering or being harmed, because you don't understand that suffering is something you do to yourself. Pain happens in the body by nature, but suffering is something that you cause to yourself. So now you got limited identity, a flawed understanding of what suffering and how the world works in that aspect. Now you throw in this separateness. You think that you're separate, so you got this idea of separateness. Then on top of that, you throw in thinking that the outside world objectively decides how you are within yourself. You get what I'm saying? You made me mad. We hear that shit from an early age. The first thing we hear about to our parents is you're irritating me. You made me mad. A stranger in Walmart your parents might say you hurt their feelings. You get what I'm saying? When actually nothing can do that. Your experience of life is not determined by something that has happened before you. This cosmic delusion and this cosmic drama was meant for our entertainment, not for us to get caught up in the delusion and forget that why we're here. It's not for us to get caught up in the cosmic delusion on our journey to realize what we truly are. Your whole point of being here, the only thing you can do is consciously evolve. Everything else is an entertainment along that path. It's all meant for you to reach that point of realization within yourself and truly understand yourself beyond your physical nature. But along the way, you can play a game called society. You can play a game called success and fame, money and fortune, sex, substances, sightseeing, traveling the world, gardening. You can partake in the cosmic drama for your entertainment. And as you as you go along your journey to realization in this life, you can stop and enjoy it. You can get money and play this game of society, grow food, have a wife, kids, get your teeth fixed, lose a couple of teeth, get in a fight, not get it. You can go through, you can indulge in the game. But when you forget that this is just the same thing as being drunk. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing as being drunk. It's a state of consciousness. Material reality. You feel what I'm saying? There's nowhere else to go. There are deeper dimensions of what's here right now. There is, when I say a dimension, I'm not talking about going somewhere else. I'm saying that like this right here, you see this ball? Surface level, right? Surface level. Let's say all material reality exists. This is everything. This is everything that there ever was. All of material reality is this right here. All thoughts happen here, right here. All emotions and shit are here, right here. Now go 1 millimeter below the surface of this ball. That is a deeper dimension in the existence of this ball. Now go down a little farther. You see what I'm saying? When I say down further, I'm not talking about in a material sense. With this ball, I am. But in life, I'm talking about look a little farther. You see, you have the light spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Electromagnetic radiation, atoms, subatomic particles, all of that shit is a dimension of what's here right now. Because I can shrink down in this empty space right here, and I can see germs on a certain level. I can see atoms on a certain level. I can see subatomic particles on a certain level. I can see nothing on a certain level. And even if I shrink between the spaces that's in between the space, in between the nucleus of an atom and an electron, it's empty space and nothingness, so small to that point, to that singular point. Simply, you can understand that everything is simply nothing in the material world. But if this is as far as you know yourself, you get stuck right there. Your life is determined by how you choose to experience it. You have the ability, but whether your senses have been dulled or not by the delusions of our society and those who live in it, from the richest man to the poorest man, you won't see it like that. You won't have, you call the bondage that you've locked yourself in, freedom, you feel me? You won't actually be able to see how you're not free, because, give you a quick example. I don't even know you personally, and I could probably send a random person. If my job was to piss you off, I could probably get it done. If I bumped into you in real life and you didn't know who I was, if I was a stranger and my job was to piss off each one of y'all individually without nobody else being around, I could probably do it without even having to know who you are. I don't have to know what you like, what you don't like. I could guess. I could take a wild fucking guess and do something or say something that causes you no physical harm. I don't even have to physically harm you, but I could just guess in my reservoir vocabulary, couple of words, couple of sentences in the language that you understand. Because if I say it in another language, I could call you the most disrespectful shit in a language you don't know. You won't say nothing. But when I attack your bondage and I call you something very foul in a language that you know, you don't have the freedom to continue your day the way that you wish. You don't have the freedom to allow me to be nasty, very nasty, directed towards you in your presence without that being able to rub off on you. Because we don't cultivate a society of people who are able to move through life the way that they wish without life rubbing off on them in ways they don't like. So your only safe haven for peace and joy and all of that is you have to escape life. You got to run from it. If you don't jump on me and beat my ass to feel better because of all the rude shit or disrespectful shit I might have just said in your face as a stranger, if you can't do that, you have to run from me and leave me. I'm going to lead a conversation. You have to shut me. You have to leave. You have to run from life for the sake of you have to protect your mental health. And the reason we even say that is because you don't have to protect something that only you have control over. You feel me? Nobody else has control over it. Nobody else can get to your mental health. Nobody else can even access such a dimension within yourself. Nobody else can access a deeper dimension within yourself except for you. The only reason you think you have to protect your mental health is because we grew up in a society like that. We didn't grow up in a society with an understanding of what happens in here is my responsibility. You get what I'm saying? That's why in a society that understands that, accountability culture would not be a culture of point the finger at the people doing bad stuff. It would be a culture of people who stand by pointing the finger at themselves first and foremost before they even speak of another. The first thought across your mind, even when you have a thought to critique somebody else, before that thought even comes, subconsciously there's a thought to critique yourself first, then go to them. But that's not how it is in our society, the society we live in. The thought to critique another comes instantly. And the thought to critique ourselves never comes, because the first thing you think about is, I'm not as bad as that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as bad as him. Couldn't be. Look what he done did. What is that? But we justify it. But you know, it's just ignorance. It's not. I don't hold that against nobody. I hold no crimes against humanity against no individual, and I hold no individuals who commit crimes against those who commit crimes against humanity. I hold nobody at fault for their ignorance, because how do you make a person think of something that they never thought about? If you never thought about it like that, how the fuck can I blame you for not thinking about it like that? You know what I'm saying? How can I blame my child for running with a knife just because, I got stabbed in the foot. Yeah, a person might have cussed me out. Yes, their ignorance might have caused them they said some fuck shit to me. They did some fuck shit to me. My baby dropped a knife on my foot. My son stole a car. Ignorance is the cause of so much shit. But once again, how can I blame you for your ignorance? Because if you don't know no better, how the fuck can I blame you for not knowing better? But the only people who will blame the ignorant that run the world for fucking up shit is because the only people who will blame them is the people who are ignorant themselves because they don't understand the very definition of ignorance. It's like saying I'm not against mental health. It's like saying I am standing for mental health. I want to make changes in mental health. But then when you see a person having a fucking anxiety attack in Walmart and they breaking shit and like having a breakdown, they crying and yelling at people, you be like, oh my God, it don't take all that. When exactly that is the exact consequences of unchecked, an out of control human system. How you gonna be for mental health, but you don't have that intelligence and that understanding and that love and compassion when you see somebody making your grocery trip hard on you. See, they for mental health as long as you don't gotta deal with it. As long as you don't gotta deal with that schizophrenic uncle that'll just run out the fucking house at 3 a.m. As long as you ain't gotta deal with that lady screaming in Walmart because she can't handle some shit. As long as you ain't gotta deal with kids and shit crying all the time over things that you define as little shit, but they don't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? People are for shit that they don't have to deal with it or do nothing. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with this. Everybody is for making the world better and oh my God, enlightening people. Cause anybody that ever say that they woke or enlightened, probably not. Like, you never hear me talk about that kind of shit. Cause I mean, like, I don't know. But people who say that shit most likely ain't, because a person will say, the world is ignorant. We need to educate people. But when you come across an uneducated motherfucker, you don't want to have a conversation with them because you ain't capable of standing in the face of his ignorance. You ain't capable of bearing the pain that his ignorance may cause you for the sake of himself. You get what I'm saying? They got a real famous story about this in a religion called Christianity. I'm not a Christian at all. I don't follow no religion. But they have a good story about this. It's called Jesus. It's called, you know how when he got on the cross and he told them, don't hurt them. They don't know no better. They know not what they do. That's what he was saying. Because if they really understood themselves and themselves in a more profound way, beyond their physicality, beyond their race, religion, country, sex, creed, family, friends, kids, if they understood themselves beyond their 5 senses, there is no fucking way they would be hanging me on a fucking cross. You would have never did this had you truly had real wisdom, had you truly been able to see more of life beyond its physical nature, beyond its corporeal nature. If you was able to see more, you wouldn't have never did this to me. So even though you are killing me and taking my body from me, making my body unable to inhabit life, even though you're causing pain to me physically, do you still deserve to be punished for something that you don't even know? You don't even know you don't know it. Not only do you not know it, but you don't even know that you don't know it. You don't know the shit that you don't even know. How can I blame you for that? Just because you taking my life? Because you can't take my life. That's stupid. No. Because you're taking my body from me. How the fuck can I blame you for not knowing it? You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to mental health and depression, bro, the only way to alleviate such a thing, cure it. It's not a cure like you drink something. It's just as much of a cure as wiggling your hand out of control is. You get what I'm saying? If you wiggling your hand out of control and your hand ain't listening to you, you're not gonna drink something that's gonna stop it. You must consciously perceive the muscles in your arm. You must be able to make contact with that aspect of yourself so that you can send signals to your brain so that you know. It's just like learning how to walk. You have to learn how to consciously operate this aspect of your body. Once you have learned how to consciously once you've learned how to consciously manage this aspect of your body, I don't have to tell you to stop moving your arm. Once you've learned how to walk, you walk. Once you consciously learn how to control your arm, you just stop. You'll just stop doing it on your own. But see, depression when you say that, it sounds so wild and so far-fetched because the academics in our country don't understand the human system as well as we need to. Nobody does. This country is literally built. America, we've never been a very spiritual country. Even when we had religions that ran the country, we followed them in a very surface level way. We never could understand the non-physical aspects of it. So our country was built off of that ignorance. It's not bad or good. I'm not saying nobody's wrong in that. I'm just saying that's the case. It was built off of that ignorance. That's why a motherfucker can be rich as hell and still really not be able to help you. And a motherfucker can be poor as hell and still really can't be able to help you. We are damn near all the same people in America from the richest man to the poorest motherfucker, even though we all point fingers in different areas. You feel what I'm saying? The problem, mental health and depression seems like such a vast situation because we just don't know what to do. But the thing is, what we don't know what to do is because what we think the human being is flawed. The understanding is flawed in itself. A lot of people, yes, some people need medication, but that's just to get you stable so that you can actually learn. You know what I'm saying? If your kid hyper than a bitch and he running around and you can't get him to focus, you might need to wear out some of that energy so you can teach him how to ride a bike. But wearing out that energy is not a solution. It's just something to get him in a state to prep him, to make him receptive to the teachings that you're going to give him. Once you've made him receptive, made him go run, you do some action and shit like that. Now he's able to sit down and listen. Now you can tell him how to ride a bike. Now you can put him on the bike and actually say, now we're going to show you something to actually to help you a little better. Same thing. You might take medication to just get yourself, together for now. But the true solution is going to come when you start to cultivate your consciousness within yourself and your perception and awareness within yourself. You feel me? I always recommend yoga, but not yoga because yoga is not just a sequence of fucking poses and shit. That's hatha yoga. There's 8 limbs of yoga and different paths of yoga that you can follow. I got initiated into Kriya yoga, and that was a 30-some hour process and shit like that. But just simple yoga, simple asanas. Hatha yoga itself, if you just do hatha yoga, that's the yoga with the poses. Yoga has proven to make great strides in depression, PTSD, anxiety, stress, because yoga is a system. Actually, I'm gonna read it for you. Yoga is a system. It's a system. Holy Trinity. The whole point of yoga is divine union. It raises your consciousness within yourself, and the higher teachings of yoga is to help you go beyond your physical nature and know yourself beyond your body and your 5 senses. But on the surface level, you can definitely have a good understanding of yourself in terms of the whole creation and have a great material life. Wake up every day, whether you got a bunch of money or don't, and just be able to have a joyful life. Be able to just operate your system the way that you desire. Regardless of what happens in the world around you, people live their life based off how scared are they to suffer. I don't want to go here because I think if I go there, I'm going to suffer. I don't want to do this because I think if I do this, I'm going to suffer. If suffering was not a problem for you, if you knew for a fact you would never create suffering within yourself because you now have that conscious capability, it's now accessible to you. A dimension deeper than your physicality is accessible to you. Now, if you knew that for a fact, you would explore hell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people scared of hell because they feel like it's suffering there, but that's because they think suffering is something that can be done to you. You would go explore hell itself if you knew you would never suffer within yourself. You would do everything. Your life would not be decided by survival tactics of protecting your material sense. You know what I'm saying? Eating, sleeping, and staying alive. But we ain't gonna get into all that, the energy shit, and because they done fucked up chakras so much in America that y'all hear me. That's why y'all never hear me talk about that shit like chakras and energy centers and shit. Like, I might address it to make a bigger point, but I stay away from it because the imaginations, due to the ignorance in our society, the imaginations of many people have gone out of control. That's why you get a bunch of people who intellectually know a lot. They done read all the books, they done took all the classes, but that's all they know is the intellectual side of it. You really find somebody, even those who are highly esteemed with a very large, a very sharp intellect, even those people will still show you that, oh, I live just like you. I'm stressed the fuck out just like you all the time, you know, because in its purest form, from the richest man to the poorest man, we all deem what it means to be human is to be limited. We have defined being human as one of the aspects of what a human can do. A car can run off the road and run into the fucking gravel. It can hit a bitch. It can wrap around a tree. And we decided that is what it means to drive. If you are driving and you are not bumping into shit, if the road and life is giving you hell, if you ain't hitting potholes and running off the road and hitting people and wrecking your car every time you get in it, you ain't driving. That's how we think about being human out of our ignorance. If you ain't stressed the fuck out at least a couple of times, if you ain't angry sometime, if you ain't stressed out and sad about shit just a little regularly, you can't be human. That is not being human. Fuck no. A person being in complete control of how they experience their life, you know, being in a state of bliss and being joyful because not because it's right, not because they want peace, but simply because why are you sitting here listening to this live? Why are you sitting here? Why are you listening to this? Because you want to. Not because it's right, not because you believe me, not because you don't believe me. You listening to it because there was a desire to do so. If being joyful was such a task like that, you just happy because you choose to be. Not because you got money, not because you rich, not because you poor, not because you black, because you white, because you tall, because you short, not because fucking life somebody else doing bad and you doing good, or none of that. Not because nothing happened around you, but just because. That's why you're called a human being. You feel me? We don't call dogs beings, a cat being, an elephant being. No, you're called a human being because you are meant to be. You have the capacity to be. You be mad. You have to get mad, get happy. You get what I'm saying? You become these things. These things don't happen to you. A joyful moment is just a moment you accepted. What is the difference between a man who wants his kids and a man who don't? Nothing other than his acceptance. You accepted everything as it was in that moment. So that is defined within yourself as a joyful experience. I was happy. My baby was born. My mama was there. My daddy was there. You was accepting shit. Somebody could have broke you some bad news. And you was just like, you was so accepting that when they break you some bad news, your baby was just born. You just be like, man, we'll handle that shit tomorrow. It ain't nothing. But when you walk around resisting life, that's not my responsibility. I'm not responsible for that. I don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? When you stop accepting shit, you start pushing. And life pushes back every time. The more you resist, one often meets their fate on the path that they take to avoid it. If you know where that's from, it's unbelievable that they was dropping gems like that in that type of media. But that was a fucking gem. You know what I'm saying? So the first step, bro, to overcoming your depression, your anxiety and shit like that, you have to know what you're trying to do. You're trying to solve something that is not physical. Money is okay to have. Take it. Go get it. Do it. Play this game. You do whatever you want to do. It's fucking GTA. Play this game. If you okay with the consequences, play this game. You feel me? But understand that playing this game will not do nothing within here. It won't. You gonna either distract yourself for a little bit or a long time or until the day you die. Either way. But this will only be affected when you cultivate and you nurture this within here. The aspect of yourself beyond your physicality. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your fucking race. You are not a white man, a black man, a white woman, a black woman. You are not your fucking country, your religion. You are not your family. You are not your friends. You are a piece of creation. Your being emanates from the same source that everything else is birthed from. The exact same source. The thing that we like to call, God, religion. I mean, not religion. God, universe, spirit, Allah, whatever you want to call it. Let me put it in another way. Let me give you a better example. It's an avatar. The player is somewhere else playing the game. This is an avatar. This is an avatar. But because you become so identified with the landscape of the software, you've become so identified with the landscape of the editing software that we creating this game in. You've become so identified with the map. You think that the map is the territory itself. You think that the game on the screen is the world that the game is being played in. Cause I'm in GTA looking at the sky, not knowing that this is on a screen and there's an actual fucking sky out there. You feel me? I give you a lot of examples. You know what I'm saying? You get me, but you have to understand yourself beyond your physicality. Realize that just a simple exercise all the time. Remind yourself that your ability to respond is infinite. No matter where you do, where you go, no matter what circumstances life holds before you. The more you pay attention, the greatest breakthroughs in science were not created when a person thought about some shit. Thinking, the nature of thought is not in itself able to create a new thought. Your thought is just some shit you got a big bucket, right? Full of memories. Got a lot of shit. Of any thought you think of is a bunch of shit you took out that big bucket of trillions of shit and you put something together and called it a new thing. That's not new. Your thoughts cannot create new things. You get what I'm saying? So it's not in the nature of your thought to come up with something new. The greatest breakthroughs in science didn't happen because somebody thought about it. They happened because somebody paid attention to what was already there. Somebody looked at a tree and saw an apple fall and was like, oh shit, what is that? Gravity. Somebody looked at the sky and threw a paper airplane and was like, that bitch flying, what the fuck? And was like, airplane. Somebody looked at fucking germs and was like, damn, if we embalm dead bodies and then go give birth, every time that happens, the baby dies. He didn't think about it. He was just looking. And then he realized, oh shit, if we wash our hands first and then go do surgeries, the people won't die as often. He didn't think about that. He just paid attention. Stop thinking so much. The thinking man has killed spirituality. And it fucking ruined America, but stop thinking. You ain't gonna be able to deduce your way out of this one. In material life, yes. But within yourself, that's no room for thinking. Meditate. Sit down in silence. Just sit down. I'll give you something to do. As you live your life every day, look at the shit around you. And no matter what happens, always remind yourself. Watch yourself. Because it's easy to zone out and just be doing shit, but you in your head. You got to watch that shit. Every time you notice it, come back. Like, really focus on it. Don't just be, I'm just clicking shit on the computer. Your body can do shit just out of habit because, that is something that's in us to help us survive. But do not let that form of compulsionary action. I'm just doing shit. I'm going through my day, but I'm just on autopilot. Don't do that. Catch that shit. Pay attention. Be fully there in what's actually happening. That's not conscious action. Consciously live. Pay attention. And it's only worth a fuck when your shit is going the way you don't want it. I don't care how you treat people that's nice to you. Fuck that shit. Monitor all your interactions with the most disrespectful and rudest people in the world. Monitor all your actions with the most loudest and obnoxious people in the world. Monitor all your actions with the most fucking random and unplanned circumstances in your life. I'm talking about focus. Don't worry about the shit you cool with. Focus on all the shit that's like tough. Like, man, my car just exploded. I just had a flat for no reason. Yesterday don't even matter. Don't matter how, if you had a flat yesterday, just, I got a flat right now. Okay. I just got fired right now. All right. Monitor it. Why does this benefit you? Anger is not a virtue. Ignorance has taught us that it is. It's not. It's not something you can do. But it scientifically does not benefit your well-being. Scientifically. We can prove this. Stress kills you for a reason. Your blood becomes poison when you get angry. Fact check me. Fuck it. Don't believe me. I don't even like that anyway. Don't call me a liar and don't say I'm telling the truth. Just do what you want with the information. I don't give a damn. They don't tell you get mad when you drowning. They tell you relax. They don't tell you get mad before you go to sleep to have a good night's rest. They tell you relax. I'm on Instagram. They don't fucking tell you, oh yeah, put that right there. They don't tell you get mad before you fucking lift weights while you lifting weights. They tell you breathe. You might do all that yelling and shit for you while you lifting, but your focus is on your fucking breath. There's a place of stillness within you. They don't tell you get mad to come up with a plan. No, you have to sit down and relax. They don't tell you get mad before you look while you looking for something. They tell you calm down and you'll find it. They don't tell you get fucking mad when you goddamn, oh my God, it's just so much shit. They don't tell you, damn, it's my little thing got on the back. Yeah. They don't tell you get mad before you do any of this shit. They tell you relax, breathe, focus, all that shit. Your therapist don't tell you to do that. So literally, when somebody telling you that anger is like of a benefit to you, bro, you might want to listen. If you had the ability to live your life and approach and experience it, if you had the ability and you knew how right now, how to live your life and face all the circumstances from this moment forward to the day you die, if you had the ability to face all of those circumstances with joy, but you could also grieve if you want to. You could put your little baby toe in grief without getting caught up in it. You could put your little baby toe in, if you get a little you want to get irritated. If you want to get irritated, you can stick your finger in irritation without getting caught up in it. You can stick your finger in sadness without getting caught up in it. If you had all that freedom, for real, let's stop capping like we would just decide to get angry on a Wednesday morning. We wouldn't. We say that because we think we have to, because that's the only way we done been taught how to live. But in all actuality, nigga, you would never experience anger. If motherfucker, boy, nobody won't be like, if you would get so caught up just living your life joyfully all the time, you would never just be like, oh, I'm gonna stop this for a while and I'm gonna just be pissed off right now. It's Thursday. I gotta get mad on Thursdays. There is no fucking way. I wouldn't even believe nobody if they said this shit. Man, ain't no way. You would never stop feeling the same way you felt when your baby sister was born, when in the biggest moment of your life, the same way you felt right then. If you had that same rush and that same ecstasy all the time, there's no fucking way a person would stop that shit just to be like, I know I just got fired from my job. I don't want to feel ecstatic right now. I want to be pissed off. You wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't. Only person saying that is the person that think they can't do that. They think that that's even impossible for one. So they think they have to, there's no way. Like, yeah, there's a way. You just ain't one of the people at the moment that's capable of doing such a thing. But it being possible, it's motherfuckers that meditate for 7 days sitting down and they never move. They just sit there. They just sit there for days and days and days and days meditating without eating, sleeping, shitting, moving, or nothing. Completely transcended their physicality in another way. So you talking about just fucking feeling good on a regular basis? Is impossible? That shit don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't that it's possible. It's just that the country that you live in is not putting money into that type of shit. They ain't putting money into shit that type of shit that will actually create, you know what I'm saying? And then we don't have a lot of people that's talking the shit that I'm saying right now. They either fucking, I don't know, man. They either like a fucking activist or like fucking on some, they all think the same, but one might be a rich politician, the other one might be an activist, the other one might be some white girl on TikTok, the other one might be a fucking content creator. It's just a bunch of different people, intellectually based, body identified, but they all saying the same shit. You know? All the motivational speakers, the politicians, the lawyers, the doctors, the bitch walking down the street, your neighbors, your fucking the dude that work at Walgreens, the dude that work at fucking Apple, the customer service representative, the fucking billionaires, the millionaires, the thousandaires, the broke people, the Mexicans, the Spanish people, black people, white people, they all, oh, thank you. They all saying the same. It's all the same shit on the majority. That's why everybody always end their conversation with, well, I just don't know what to do. And ain't nobody got no answers because everybody's perception is like the fucking same. It's probably 100,000 people in this whole country probably saying the shit I'm saying that live here. And that's fucking crazy. You ain't finna cut on no podcast on the internet and damn near hear it like this. You'll hear it, but it's all gonna double back to something materially identified. It's gonna all double back. That identification with your body gonna manifest somewhere. You gonna see it. Okay. You gonna see that shit somewhere. But look, man, I'm finna get out of here. Couple things. One thing I'm gonna tell you. You heard what I said about your life. Live your life and make sure your ability to respond is infinite. Make sure you remind yourself of that. Make sure you consciously approach everything that happens in your life. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a limit. Question, there's 2 buttons. That's fine. You don't have, I'm gonna read that before I go. You don't have a limit. Stop that. You don't your limit is whatever the fuck you created as. You don't have a limit. You don't have a breaking point. Do not fall victim to that understanding of yourself. Even if you don't even know if you don't believe me. But just know that you don't know if you have a limit or not. You can create one for yourself, but that does not mean that was objectively there. Realize that you don't know. Realize that you know nothing about life in its totality. Realize everything that you think something is just the way you have to see it to survive. You have to call these scissors to survive. But these ain't scissors. This is elements. Metal, steel, which is what? Atoms, which is what? Protons and neutrons, which is what? Quarks, which are what? Subatomic particles, which are what? I don't know. So if you don't, God damn, man. So if you don't even know what the basis of all of material reality is, that means you don't know nothing. You don't know what this is. You don't know what a tree is. You know nothing. You don't even know what your body is. You know how it works. You know how to put it together to stay alive. I know, Farod, don't put this in here if you want to live. I know that. But that don't mean I know what it is. Realize that you don't know nothing. You know how to play the game, but you don't know what this is. You don't know the electricity running through it. You don't know what makes up that electricity. It's a metaphor. The game, electricity running through the TV screen, you get me? And as all the situations pop up in life that you don't like, for one, get out of that I don't like and I like shit. Move beyond the duality. Don't do that. Anytime you approach a circumstance, approach it consciously. Approach it from a place of acceptance. Push yourself. Push yourself to consciously move past it. When something irritates you, in order for it to not irritate you, you have to grow a little more. When somebody does some shit that otherwise would have pissed you off, in order for you to not get mad, in order for your body to respond and take orders from you, you have to actually consciously push yourself to, you have to consciously grow. Your body wants to respond. When your body has a habit, whether that's getting angry, any of that shit, if you smoke, if you stop smoking, your body gonna be like tweak the fuck out. Your body gonna want to do it. But you have to push yourself to grow beyond that and consciously move further. Your body gonna take a while to catch up. But your life energies within yourself, you can start changing that right now. You feel what I'm saying? So do that with every circumstance and situation you face in your life. I'm talking about all the bad shit. For one, stop calling it bad shit. We ain't doing good, ain't nothing good or bad. All circumstances are the same. Your baby being born is the same as your dog dying. Your car exploding is the same as you getting $1 million check from the lottery. All the same. These are just circumstances. Stop, let that play. Since you caught up in the game, you need to stop playing the game for a while. Get out of that duality. Survive, eat, work, do all of that, but get out the game. Remember, I'm just playing this shit, but this shit don't decide my experience. Actively do that as you live. And on top of that, every day, just sit down. Just sit still. Sit still. Sit still. Close your eyes. Put your palms face up like this on your knees. Your lungs expand from the top when your hands are flipped over. But when they flip down, your lungs expand from the bottom. You breathe a lot better when you just sitting there and you keep your palms up. Anytime you sitting down somewhere and resting, you'll breathe better. You can feel it if you perceive it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can close your eyes, you'll feel it. Breathe with your palms up. You'll feel them expand from the top. Now, take a deep breath with your palms down and you'll feel them expand from the bottom. You get what I'm saying? Sit down with your palms up on your legs, cross your legs, put your back up against something or sit on top of a pillow or something, and, comfortably keep your spine straight, keep your head either parallel to the floor or up a little, whatever. Close your eyes and just sit there and focus on your breath. In your nose, breathe through your nose with your mouth closed. Focus on your breath as you inhale and control it. Actually consciously focus and breathe. You can consciously inhale and consciously exhale out your nose. And just sit there and do that for 25 minutes a day. Like, if you just do that for 25 minutes every day for 6 months, and that compiled with what I was just telling you about how you approach circumstances within yourself in your life, do them two things and you'll just see that little shit right there make a wild ass difference in your experience of life. You know what I'm saying? Just do that in your experience of life you'll see that, damn, you'll start thinking about shit in ways you didn't think about it. So it's actually something that you can do. But if you go into this rabbit hole and go on this journey, a new journey of healing, beyond that, look into yoga, man. Look into yoga. I'm going to give y'all a couple of books. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to type them in the comments. I'm going to give y'all a couple of books. Books that will change the game. Remember, intellectual knowledge will not help you. It will not solve the problem. It will give you more insight and more shit to dive into. But intellectual knowledge will not. I repeat, it will not do it. So you can read these books, but if you ain't sitting down, if you ain't breathing, if you ain't doing the work and cultivating the space within yourself, this intellectual knowledge will be nothing. It'll be like taking a car that needs an oil change. It needs new tires, and the tires need to be rotated. The whole car fucked up. But instead, you keep painting it. You keep putting rims on it. You keep fucking putting spoilers on it. You keep changing the leather. Leave the outside of the car alone. You can do it, but make sure as vigorously as you painting the outside, as vigorously as you reading books and watching YouTube videos, listening to seminars, watching lives and shit, all of that, as vigorously as you are seeking help in the material world, you need to be actively cultivating and nurturing yourself within beyond your physicality. You actively, and that can start by just sitting down, learning about yoga, learning about meditation. Actually, I do Kriya yoga, and I'm finna show you all these books. Then I'm finna get off here. So Hold on. Autobiography of a Yogi. Screenshot these. I ain't gonna leave them on the screen for long. Autobiography of a Yogi. Paramahansa Yogananda. Search this man up. Search him up. Watch his documentary on YouTube. Watch any videos you see about him. Search the man up. Him. This book right here is on YouTube. It's a free audio book. I done read this bitch 3 times. You can listen to this book on YouTube for free. Listen to it. Karma by Sadhguru. Unbelievable fucking book about karma. What you think karma is as it applies to life. Screenshot this if you want to read that. You know what I'm saying? Screenshot it. Yeah. No. Charleston White, screenshot it. Okay. Screenshot this book. Great fucking book. It'll redefine what you think karma is. The Yoga of Jesus by him. He wrote this book and he wrote this book right here. This is not a book just for Christians. It don't matter if you're a Christian or not. He is not a Christian. He's a fucking yogi. This man not only did he make Christianity make sense, he also explained Jesus' teachings in a way that applied to the lives of everybody, not just Christians, because Jesus was not teaching Christianity. He was teaching an entirely different science of how to actually live your life beyond the bondage of the material body. But this book right here is a motherfucker. Look at this. He say, in this remarkable book, Paramahansa Yogananda, Jesus went very deep in teachings that appear on the surface to be simple. Much deeper than most understand. In his teachings is the whole science of yoga, the transcendental way of divine union through meditation. Paramahansa Yogananda, that man right there. In this remarkable book, Paramahansa Yogananda reveals the hidden yoga of the Gospels and confirms that Jesus, like the ancient sages and masters of the East, not only knew yoga, but he taught this universal science of God realization to his closest disciples. Compiled from the author's highly praised 2-volume works, The Second Coming of Christ, The Resurrection of Christ Within You. I actually got both of them bitches right there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the second coming of Christ within you. This insightful, let me see, and compact book transcends the centuries of dogma and misunderstandings that have obscured the original teachings of Jesus, showing that he taught a unifying path by which seekers of all faiths can enter the kingdom of God. So with that being said, if you a Christian, this book will help you be a whole better fucking Christian. And if you ain't a Christian, this bitch will help you live better, because it's unreal how a man that was not of no religion was able to talk about this shit in such a way. And this man, The Holy Science by Swami Sri Yukteswar. This is the master of him. He taught him everything that he knew. This motherfucker was an intellectual genius. He was advanced in astrology and science, as well as the Vedas and holy scriptures, and he was a monk as well. So he had the intellectual knowledge, and he had the fucking knowledge of everything beyond this. I got 1 minute and 56 seconds before I go. So, The Holy Science by Sri Yukteswar. You can get this audio book too. Read this. If you read this book or this book first, read any 3 of these first. I recommend any 3 of these first. Read them. That'll be your project. That's your little project. You know what I'm saying? You read one of them books or listen to it as an audio book. Do what I said about how you approach circumstances in your life, and sit down with your palms up on your knees, focusing on your breath with your back straight, not super straight, just comfortably straight. Focus on your breath in silence. No sound coming to your ear. Go somewhere quiet. No sound coming to your ears. No smells in your nose. No sound coming out your mouth. No taste. No sight. Just sitting still and no motion. And focus on your breath for 24 minutes a day for 6 months. And thank me later. But look, I'm finna get up off here. Read Yoga of Jesus and Autobiography. Yeah, for sure. I'm finna get up off here. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Let me pin that comment so people can see that. I'm gonna post this live on YouTube. My YouTube is Farod BB. It's in my bio on Instagram. I got 39 seconds. I'm finna go. I'm gonna post this live on YouTube, man. Y'all gonna see it. I'm out. Y'all welcome. I'm gonna be doing this a lot more often, so you can remember to tune in for these lives.
Put chicken legs in the comments if you fucking with this. If y'all want me to keep doing these lives and putting them on the internet and posting them on YouTube. You got 16 seconds. Hurry up. I'm gonna run the clock out.